The battle of the mid-rangers is upon us. While there are companies like Huawei and Oppo who have already put forward their fighters, Vivo too has put forward its contenders, the Vivo V11 and the V11 Pro. Now, you might be confused about the name game that these Chinese companies like Oppo and Vivo play, but I am going to clear it up for you. The Vivo V11 Pro in Nepal is the Vivo V11 internationally, and the Vivo V11 here in Nepal is the Vivo V11i internationally. And today I have with me the Vivo V11 Pro. Now, the idea of an in-display fingerprint sensor and Snapdragon 660 has impressed me to the core. So what else is there? Let's find out in this review. Okay, let's get started with the display. The device is a 6.4-inch giant with 19.5:9 aspect ratio and a Super AMOLED panel. Yes, you heard it right, a Super AMOLED panel that makes colors on it full of life. The colors on the display pop out quite well and it looks bright and pleasing. You don't have to worry about bright sunny surroundings and viewing angles as the Vivo V11 Pro has got it all covered for you. Likewise, Vivo has also included Gorilla Glass 6 protection, so even if you are a careless person like me, Vivo has got you covered on that too. Moving on, the tiny little notch on the top is the smallest I have ever seen and is somewhat like what we got on the Oppo F9, which only incorporates the selfie camera. However, to make the user experience better, the notch hides itself while playing games and watching videos, so the idea of a full view display is just an idea for now. Anyways, the device does well not only display-wise but aesthetically too. It's a glass body surrounded by a plastic frame. Similarly, the phone is unbelievably light and I feel like the glass back gives some plasticky feel on hands. I feel like a metal frame would have felt sturdier and gone better with the glass back and also helped in case of accidental drops. The color I have is somewhat similar to Huawei's Nova 3, but I do like the color and the minimalist design on the back and at the front. We've got all the buttons in one place, that is on the right, and only the dedicated SIMs and microSD card slot on the left. On the top, we see only the noise cancellation mic and the bottom holds a single speaker grill, the output from which gets distorted at high volumes. There's also a headphone jack, another noise cancellation mic and a micro USB port. Again, I have to ask, when you make a device so good, why not put in a Type-C? It's 2018 already. Anyway, it's their choice wanting the criticism after all. Talking about the design, you cannot see the fingerprint sensor anywhere and I guess you all know that it's under the display. Now, the unlock speed is not as fast as the traditional fingerprint sensor, but this is just a start and there is always room for improvement. I also like the little animation while unlocking the phone and you can also change it to your preference. Meanwhile, the face unlock on this thing works very well too. You barely look at it and the phone unlocks zippy fast. Now let's talk about the cameras. The Vivo V11 Pro clicks some of the best selfies among other mid-rangers. It's a 25 megapixel sensor and is quite a good improvement over what its predecessor gave us. There's a slight inbuilt purification being done even in normal pictures, but your skin looks good in it. Plus, the camera balances the light in the background and your face, so neither you or the background is overexposed. Similarly, there is a face beauty option that brightens and smoothens your skin up to level 6 with AI features. And you can also use the beautification in selfie videos. I have never been a fan of beautification options in any of the devices, but this feature might be appealing to some of you. But you do have various selfie lighting features. However, I have fallen in love with the monochrome lighting feature. Have a look at this sample and this sample. Also, low-light selfies come out bright and surprisingly appear good as daylight selfies. The back houses a dual camera setup of a 12 megapixel camera and a 5 megapixel depth sensor. The pictures come out great, pack in good details and colors. What's impressive is the pictures have fair color accuracy and they're also vibrant. There's a Pro mode where you can adjust the ISO, autofocus, white balance, etc. The portrait bokeh effect allows you to adjust the blur while taking pictures and also after taking pictures, which I really like. But some pictures do have a slight yellowish tone to them. I don't know if this is the camera itself or due to lighting, but it's there. However, the portrait images lose details most of the time and suffer from slight inaccurate edge detection. Not to miss, there is the Google Lens inbuilt in the cameras. Videos can be recorded in 4K, Full HD and HD, but there is a lack of any kind of stabilization in them, which is very disappointing. Also, nighttime shots appear grainy and noisy. So overall, except for the lack of stabilization and low light performance, I am fairly impressed with the cameras in the Vivo V11 Pro. Moving on, the device is powered by a Snapdragon 660 processor alongside the Adreno 512 GPU. Talking about performance, I must say that this device has impressed me quite well. Gameplay on this smartphone is smooth like a breeze. I played PUBG in medium settings and no wonder it ran smooth with good visuals and graphics. I would be lying if I said that I felt any kind of stutters in everyday tasks too. So all in all, the performance of the Vivo V11 Pro is lit, and just look at this benchmark comparison between the Oppo F9, Nova 3i and the Vivo V11 Pro. Likewise, you get a whole 6GB RAM with either 64GB or 128GB storage, and there's an option for a dedicated SD card slot, so there is nothing to complain about. Both the SIM slots support 4G connectivity, and there's dual band Wi-Fi AC and Bluetooth 5.0 as well. On the software front, you get Android Oreo 8.1 coupled with FunTouch OS 4.5. Now, I'm not really a fan of the UI on this device, and there are slight things that are annoying, like the command bar has to be slid upwards from the bottom and there is no search option in the settings menu. The UI seems more like an iPhone copy, and I think it's better that they have something of their own. There is also a fair share of bloatware, some of which can be deleted and some cannot. You can enable either the gesture option or the navigation keys as per your preference. Battery-wise, you have a 3400 mAh capacity with Vivo's custom dual-engine fast charging. Vivo claims that there are two engines inside the device, due to which the charging speed is twice as fast as compared to standard charging technology. The battery life is very good as well. It easily got me through the day with no need of worrying about it during gaming, multimedia usage or web browsing. But then again, the inclusion of a micro USB is a bummer. So, before wrapping up, here is a quick tour on the differences between the Vivo V11 Pro and the Vivo V11. The Vivo V11 Pro comes with an inch bigger display than the V11 and a slightly larger screen resolution. Similarly, the Pro version is powered by Snapdragon 660 chipset, whereas the Vivo V11 features the Helio P60 processor. Difference also lies in the memory front, where the Pro model has a 6GB RAM and the V11 has 4GB of it. While both the variants have 9-volt 2A fast charging, the Vivo V11 Pro features a special dual-engine fast charging support. The camera department is also where Vivo has differentiated the two devices. The V11 Pro has 12-megapixel focal 1.8 plus 5-megapixel focal 2.4 sensors at the back, whereas the Vivo V11 has an inferior dual 16-megapixel focal 2.0 plus 5-megapixel focal 2.4 sensors at the back. So that's all for the experiences I had with the Vivo V11 Pro. I will very soon come up with a detailed review of this device, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so that you get notified each time our video goes live. So saying this, I am Pratima Adhikari and I'll see you next time.